Everyone is pouring money into the same AI trade. The chip maker, the power companies, the cooling companies. But the real bottleneck, the one thing the whole build-out is about to run short of, is somewhere almost nobody is looking. And once you find it, the biggest winner of the AI boom turns out to be a company nobody calls an AI company. So here's a bet you can hold me to. By the end, I'll name one overlooked company that gets paid no matter which chip, which cloud, or which model wins, and I'll date the call and tell you exactly what would prove me wrong. Follow the AI strain down the stack with me, and you'll see it before I say it. Start with how big the strain is. On July 30th, Apple posted a record quarter, $109 billion, then guided its profits down and called the memory market a 100-year flood. In plain terms, the AI build-out is buying up so many chips and so much memory that it reached the phone in your pocket. If the strain reached Apple, it reached everything. Behind that strain is a wall of money. In 2026, the big cloud companies are spending roughly $725 billion building data centers, up 77% in a single year, on top of $1 trillion more in AI commitments. That's the demand-pulling power, memory, and materials all into shortage at once. But here's the part almost nobody thinks about. Everyone argues about which chip is fastest. The real bottleneck isn't the chip anymore. It's getting electricity to the chip. And once you follow the electricity, the whole question changes. A data center is, physically, an enormous electricity bill with a roof on it. And you can't just plug one in. To connect a big new site to the grid, you join a line, the interconnection queue, the years-long wait to get permission to draw power. Right now, roughly 2,300 gigawatts of projects are stuck in that line in the United States. For scale, that's close to twice all the power plants the country already runs. This is now the #1 limit on AI, ahead of chips. Analysts at Gartner expect that by 2027, 40% of AI data centers will be held back not by computers, but by a lack of power. Even NVIDIA's CEO reframed the whole business around it. He now describes AI value as tokens per watt, times the gigawatts you can actually get. Whoever controls the watts controls the boom. So power is the gate. But power doesn't reach a server as is. The grid runs at enormous voltage, far too high to feed a building. Something has to step it down. And that something is a transformer, the boring gray box that changes voltage, sitting between the grid and the data center. Every single watt crosses at least one on its way to a chip, which makes the transformer the next thing to run out. And transformers are the tightest choke point in the entire build-out. In the United States, the wait to get a large power transformer, the big substation kind a data center needs, is now about 128 weeks. That's 2.5 years. Prices are up 77% since 2019. And the biggest units are booked out to 2030. You can build the data center in a year and then wait 2.5 more for the box that turns it on. So why can't the world just build more transformers? Because of what's inside them. The heart of every transformer is a very specific material. And if you use the ordinary version, it wastes the energy as heat and cooks the box from the inside. Only one special material carries the magnetic field cleanly enough to work. It is the one thing you cannot substitute. And here is the strange part. Almost nobody on Earth makes it. Worldwide, only about 10 to 12 mills make this material at all. One of the majors, in Russia, got sanctioned in 2022 and never came back. The US imports more than 80% of its large transformers, and China makes roughly 60% of the world's. So the choke point under the transformer bottleneck isn't the box, it's this one material. And if you ask who still makes it in America, the answer is genuinely startling. So here's the whole hunt in one line. The chip runs on power. The power runs through a transformer. The transformer runs on one special steel. And that steel has a name: grain-oriented electrical steel. The crystal grains inside it are all combed to point the same way, like the grain in a violin instead of a plank. So the core carries the magnetic field with almost no waste heat. It is the one material you can build a transformer core out of. And in North America, exactly one company still makes it. So the biggest quiet winner of the AI data center boom makes rolled steel. It's Cleveland Cliffs, a 100-year-old mill, running the only 2 plants on the continent that actually make this steel. Butler Works in Pennsylvania and Zanesville, Ohio. Not the only company that sells it here. Nippon and POSCO import it, the only one that makes it. There is no domestic number two, which, once you follow the electricity, stops being surprising. And you don't have to take our word that the monopoly is real. The US government just certified it in writing. On July 2nd, the Pentagon awarded Cleveland-Cliffs a $400 million, 5-year sole source contract for this steel. Sole source means they were legally allowed to skip competitive bidding because there was literally no one else to bid. The award says it plainly. Cliffs is the only US producer of the stuff. When the Defense Department admits there's no competitor, the monopoly isn't a theory. So step back. Everyone buys the box. The power and cooling names, Givernova, Vertiv, Eaton, already crowded, already priced like AI winners. Cleveland-Cliffs sits one layer below, filed under tariffs and autos, priced like an ordinary steel company. Yet it holds a hard monopoly under the single longest lead time bottleneck in the whole stack. That gap between how it's priced and where it sits is the whole idea. So that's the winner. Now, the bet I promised you, dated, and with the thing that would prove me wrong. Here's the call I promised. Through the end of 2028, as the AI build-out keeps power the binding gate, the transformer shortage stays deep, and Cleveland-Cliffs, the sole North American maker of the steel inside every transformer core, captures more of the value shift than the crowded power and cooling names everyone already bid up. The scarcity is in the raw material it alone makes here, not in the box. The mechanism is clear. The timing is the open question. I'd put this around 55%. Here's the basis, on the record. 1. The transformer wait is about 128 weeks, prices up 77%, a bottleneck that can't clear fast. 2. Cliffs is the only mill that makes this steel in North America, with no domestic number two. 3. The Pentagon just certified that in a $400 million sole source contract. 3 sourced facts, all dated within the last 2 years. Not a buy, a market position with the basis shown. And the falsifier, the thing that would kill this call. Funded new transformer plants come online in 2027 and 2028. Siemens is spending $421 million in North Carolina. Eaton, $340 million in South Carolina. If they push the large power wait below 30 weeks, or Cliffs' order book flattens, or any hyperscaler guides its spending down, the scarcity thins and the call dies. 2 honest caveats. Those new plants mostly build the smaller distribution transformers, so the big power bottleneck likely persists. And this is a roughly 2-year window with a funded expiry, not a permanent moat. So check back by the end of 2028. We'll know then whether the new plants clear the wait or the shortage holds. And this call is on the record either way. Whatever happens, everyone will still be arguing about which chip and which model wins. And they'll all be looking at the top of the stack, while the quiet winner sits at the bottom of it. The one old American mill that still makes the steel the boom can't build without.